These teachers, and I've seen them at a lot of schools where they had problems, these teachers love their students, and the students love their teachers in many cases. These teachers love their students. I'd rather have somebody that loves their students and wants to protect their students than somebody standing outside that doesn't know anybody and doesn't know the students and, frankly, for whatever reason, decided not to go in, even though he heard lots of shots being fired inside. The teachers and the coaches and other people in the building, the dean, the assistant dean, the principal, they love their people. They want to protect these kids. And I think we're better with that. And this may be 10% or 20% of the population of teachers, et cetera. It's not all of them, but you would have a lot, and you would tell people that they're inside. And the beauty is it's concealed. Nobody would ever see it unless they needed it. It's concealed. So this crazy man who walked in wouldn't even know who it is that has it. That's good. It's not bad. That's good. And a teacher would have shot the hell out of him before he knew what happened.
President Trump addressing CPAC, reiterating his calls for concealed carry for teachers within schools. Joining me now, former Air Force Assistant Vice Chief of Staff. He is retired Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney. Good to see you, General. The public is split on arming teachers. CBS poll, 50% oppose it, 44% support it. We have teachers weighing in saying Murphy's Law, you could accidentally discharge, the guns could be stolen. What's your reaction to this idea?
Well, those are people that are just looking for excuses, Liz. My reaction to the idea is very strongly supportive of hardening schools, as the president mentioned. If you have 20 to 25% of the school teachers and you have anywhere from 200 to 400, you're going to have 20 to 30 or more teachers that are concealed carry, and no one is going to want to go into a threat environment like that, particularly these mentally disabled people. They're going to just stay away when they know that the school is hardened and has teachers and even janitors, if you will, coaches, et cetera, that are armed.
Okay, you're talking to Taryn. I hear you. I want to move on to North Korea because this is quite a story. A brazen choice by North Korea, one that South Korea now calls, quote, humiliating and enraging. North Korea sending a military hardliner, its top spy master, General Kim Yong-chol, to the Winter Olympics closing ceremony this Sunday. Ivanka Trump will be attending. This is the man widely believed to have masterminded not only the hack into Sony Pictures, but the killing of the top North Korean defense official with anti-aircraft fire. Also the sinking of a South Korean Navy ship in 2010, killing nearly 4 dozen South Korean sailors. That happened during joint military exercises between the U.S. and South Korea, the same military exercises that are now coming up after they were postponed to the Olympics. General, what is your reaction to this general attending?
Well, I'm just surprised that President Moon accepted him. Personally, I do not think he would. He should have. He should have sent a very strong signal that he is not wanted in South Korea, for he's killed 50 South Korean people and mostly military. We do not want him here representing North Korea. Draw the line.
What signal is North Korea making by sending this general to the closing ceremony?
Well, I think they're making President Moon look very weak, and the sunshine policy look weak. Sunshine policy of everything will be good and very utopian from the leftists there think that they can convince President Kim, to change their ideas by being nice to him. It doesn't work that way with totalitarian leaders, Liz.
General, it's great to see you. Thank you for your service to our country. Good to have you on.